Hello children, welcome back to our virtual school Kritu's World. Today we are going to learn a new poem in English class 9. What is the name of the poem? Ah, yes, right, it is The Road Not Taken. Now without wasting time, let's start our class. The Road Not Taken. Written by Robert Frost. Explanation. Once the poet was walking down a road and then there was a diversion. There were two different paths and he had to choose one out them. The poet says that as he was one person, he could travel on one road only. He had to choose one out of these two roads. Yellow wood means a forest with leaves which are wearing out and they have turned yellow in color, the season of autumn. It represents a world which is full of people, where people have been living for many years. They represent people who are older than the poet. The poet kept standing there and looked at the path very carefully as far as he could see it. Before taking the path, he wanted to know how it was. Was it suitable for him or no? He was able to see the path till from where it curved, after which it was covered with trees and was hidden. It happens in our life also when we have choices, we have alternatives, but we have to choose only one out of them. We take time to think about the pros and cons, whether it is suitable for us or not, and only then we take a decision on what path we should choose. The poet kept on looking at one path for a long time to check if it is the right path for him or not, and then he decided and started walking on another path because he felt that both paths were equally good. He says just as fair. He adds that maybe he felt that the path was better for him, so he chooses it as it had grass on it, which means that it was unused. Not many people had walked on this path earlier, that is why this path was grassy. And wanted wear means that it was not walked over by many people. After he walked on the path for some distance, he realized that both the paths had been worn out. Even in our life, we take any path or option, but all of them have the same benefits, disadvantages, problems, challenges, and we must face them. We think that we are choosing a better option. For another day, although he knew that one way leads on to another way, he knew that he could not go back on the choice that he had made. Similarly, even in our life, once we choose an option, we must keep on moving ahead with that option, and we never get a chance to come back and take the other option that we had left earlier. He says that in the future, he will take a deep breath and say that once upon a time, he had reached such a point in life that there were two options for him, and he traveled on that road which had been traveled upon by lesser number of people. That decision of his decided his future. Similarly, in future, when you grow up, then you will say that once upon a time, when you were young, you had two options. The choice that you made you what you became of it. This is a very strong message for all the students, that you should be wise and be careful while making choices out of the options that you have in your life, because your future depends on the choice that you make today.
Now let's just read this beautiful poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference.